The Conjuring 2 was directed by and stars Madison Will, Bonnie Aarons, and other actors and actresses, including some previous actors from the previous Conjuring, Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, as these paranormal investigators. And this time around, in this film, there's an in particular family that moves into this new house, and they have like a daughter named Janet and other kids. And basically, once they start living here, Janet starts to experience these weird paranormal things that are happening. Like, she keeps on hearing stuff. She keeps on hearing, like, spirits talk to her. Like, someone keeps on saying, like, this house is mine, it's not yours. And the spirit's basically, like, a character that used to live in the house. I think his name is Bill. And the entire family is being attacked by these paranormal forces. And when these paranormal investigators from the previous movie find out, they come to help this in particular family before things get worse and worse, leading Janet to get possessed by Bill. And I'm just going to say this in 4 words. I love this movie. This movie probably has to be better than the first Conjuring. The first Conjuring wasn't bad. It was awesome. This one is fantastic. I really caught myself into the stuff that were actually happening in this film. Like the relationships between the daughter and the family and stuff like that. And the backstory behind the person who used to own this house. It's a very clever and interesting backstory. This movie definitely surprised me way more than the first Conjuring did. And the first Conjuring wasn't a bad movie. It was nowhere near bad. It was a really good, smart, and important horror movie. The first Conjuring was one of those horror movies that, like, you didn't, like, see coming, but it ended up as a good horror movie, and it started its own universe. The Conjuring 2, however, wow, that is a completely different story. This movie is, like, fantastic. I love this movie. All of the actors in this film did a phenomenal job. The storyline is also very great in this movie. And there are some good messages that this movie brings. And it's from the family. And these messages surprised me on so many levels. Like, I ran out of words. The best part of this film has to be Madison Wolfe, who played as Janet. I think, like, out of all the kids, she was, like, the most interesting out of all of them. Like, when you first watch the movie, you think it's just a regular kid and you don't really, like, it's not really a character you should focus on. But once the movie progresses and progresses, you can actually see this character suffering and know that she actually has feelings. Like, she's being, like, ever since she's been, like, possessed, she's being, like, she thinks she's being seen as a monster and, like, she doesn't have any friends, and you feel bad for her. And yes, this has to be the best child performance I have seen in a horror movie since The Exorcist. A very talented young actress, and I can't wait to see her in more films. And now let's talk about Patrick Wilson in this film. He's a very likable character. A very likable character, just like in the first movie of The Conjuring. I also felt that he had a connection between him and the family. And yes, there were some parts where I kind of wanted to... And now let's talk about Vera Farmiga. Excellent in this movie. She's an excellent actress in this movie. Like, everything that was going on, she basically knew it. She could see all these paranormal forces in her head. She can see what almost other people can't really see, except for her husband, because her husband is the only one who believes her. And she is the only one who believes the husband. And they both worked together, and that's how they got married and stuff like that. And that's how they became paranormal investigators and stuff like that. It's fantastic, these two characters having a connection. It really is. And now, since it comes a good horror movie, or great one, let's talk about all the stuff in the horror movie. Is there a great amount of suspense? Yes, there is a great amount of suspense. You won't get any gore in this movie, I'm going to tell you this, but this movie is rated R, but there is a lot of suspense in this movie, and it is worth watching. It really reminded me of The Exorcist when, like, some certain scenes I'm not going to spoil, but if you have seen The Exorcist, you know what I'm talking about. If you've seen The Exorcist and The Conjuring 2, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But anyway, there were some things that, like, references, sort of. But it didn't bug me at all. The rest of this movie is fantastic. And it's not just the suspense. It's the family in this film. And the film mostly focuses on them and not much of the suspense. And that's what I like. And I like how they brought a backstory to a character who used to own this home named Bill, and he doesn't want to show himself to people. He doesn't want to show himself to people. He's just attacking this in particular family that owns his home that he used to own. And he doesn't know where his old family is. And he doesn't want to be seen or heard unless he's cautious enough to release his presence. And once he did release his presence, this movie absolutely made my day. I also love the special effects in this movie. What they used with the so when some jump scares happened, they were usually special effects, and these special effects were amazing. They really were. And the setting, it kind of reminded me of a haunted house kind of thing, and that's usually done in horror movies like this. And it's just like creepy. It's disturbing, and it's great. This has to be one of the greatest horror movie sequels that's actually lived up or higher than the original. And that's actually pretty surprising, because sequels almost never do that. And you guys are probably wondering my main issues with the movies. To be honest, I really didn't have any issues with this movie. Everything that happened in this movie was very suspenseful, and sometimes had heartwarming moments. And I did not find myself having a single flaw with this movie. The directing in this movie is also pretty good. I mean, sure, the camera work is not fantastic, but it's good enough. It does bring you into the world of what this family is going through, and especially what her daughter's going through. And you actually get why this family is like scared. You know, I get why they're afraid, because they're being attacked by some spirit that used to own this home, and the spirit doesn't want them there. He wants to get rid of. He doesn't want the family there because it was his home. And then you understand the character of Bill more often when they start talking about him. And it's a very interesting character and a very interesting villain for this movie. I did not expect this movie to be so mind-blowing. It's really mind-blowing. If you're a fan of horror movies, definitely check this one out. Definitely. It's definitely one of the greatest horror movie sequels of all time. And right when the movie ended, I ran out of words. I had no idea what to say. In my head, I pictured myself having my jaw on the floor. This movie was very surprising. This has to be one of the best horror movies I've seen in years, and for good reason. It has everything you would want out of a horror movie. Sure, it might not have gore, but hey, it has great suspense. It even has lovable characters that you really care about. Not any of those a-hole characters that you wish were dead. The Conjuring 2 is definitely a thrill ride for any horror movie fan, and for all audiences who appreciate the Conjuring universe. I mean, if you count Annabelle too. The Conjuring 2 is not only one of the greatest horror movie sequels of all time, but also alone one of the greatest horror movies of all time, and I really can't wait to see this again. I'll definitely share this movie with my friends. I have to share this with my friends, and I look forward to seeing this movie again sometime in the future. I'm really excited to see this movie again in the future. This has to be one of my all-time favorite horror movies, including The Conjuring. And you know what? I'm gonna give The Conjuring 2 an A. Thank you guys for watching me do a horror movie review of The Conjuring 2. I'm sorry I didn't get to do other movie reviews. I'm just too busy and stuff like that. I will try to do more movie reviews. Let's see, I'm going to do movie reviews of Rosemary's Baby, The Birds. I can't wait to do that one. I'm so excited. That's going to be an Alfred Hitchcock movie. I'm also going to do The People Under the Stairs, a Wes Craven movie. I'm going to do The Lights Out and a special horror movie review. I'm going to review it in a couple of days. So stay tuned for that. I will choose maybe 5 lucky subscribers. And if you follow me on Facebook, I will choose 5 of you, and I will send the movie review to you a week early before I post it on YouTube. So what that means is I'm going to post it on Facebook for those 5 subscribers, and a week later, and then in a week later, I will post it on YouTube so you guys can see it. So yeah. Thank you guys so much for showing me support. I hit 300 subscribers, and also thank you guys for tuning into my vlog of me going to CC's Pizza and stuff like that. I'm sorry I didn't get to do movie reviews in a while. I will try to do some more a little frequently though. I'll try. I can't promise that, but I will try. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I am Mario Fan 520, and I will see you next time. Peace out.